Takara Tomy has announced the release of their Art Fire figure, slated for a May of 2017 release for a price tag of $139.99. This figure is a repaint of the Masterpiece Inferno figure. It appears to include several other tampo and sticker details, as well as a target master that fits on the ladder as well as in the figure's hand. This should be interesting with those that are interested in the Diaclone or the alternate figures repaints of the Inferno figure. Make Toys has announced their release of Downbeat, their jazz homage. This figure is slated for a first quarter 2017 release for a price tag of $99.99. This figure is highly detailed, includes lots of accessories. Obviously they've made some slight changes to make this different than the G1 figure, but it's pretty damn close. Looks to have a couple alternate faces, a couple of guns, speakers for robot and vehicle mode. There are some interesting design choices, especially on the back of the vehicle, where it appears to have the bottom of the leg showing. But I know there's a lot of fans excited for this and can't wait to see Masterpiece Jazz. This is also coming at the heels of the Toy World's announcements for their Blues figure, their jazz homage, which makes us believe that likely Takara will be releasing their version of Jazz in the next year or so. So hope that happens and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Vans Toys has released official images of their Phoenix figure, their Jetfire homage. This figure is slated for a December 2016 release for a price tag of $219.99. This figure does appear to be very accurate to the G1 cartoon. If you're not familiar, the original G1 toy was designed and Takara did not end up keeping the patent, so they ended up having to change the figure to look like this version of Jetfire that was eventually used in the cartoon. So far, Takara has not made a Masterpiece Jetfire in this form. Following DX9's release of Hanzo, Vans Toys has announced their release of Hydra, their 6-shot homage. This figure is slated for October 2017 release for a price tag of $149.99. It does appear to be very similarly styled and sized to the DX9 version of 6-shot. Although this does make us wonder again, will Takara Tomy release a Masterpiece version of 6-shot? They did release their Titans Returns line leader class figure, so not likely they'll release a Masterpiece, but we'll keep an eye out. Vans Toys continues with the new release announcements. Have announced their release of their Terminus Giganticus figure, their Omega Supreme homage. This figure is slated for a June of 2017 release for a price tag of $469.98. It does come in two different packs, a pack A and a pack B. You need to buy both packs to get the full figure. It does appear to be Masterpiece sized and towers over the other Masterpiece figures. This is a pretty big endeavor for Vans Toys to take on. This should be interesting to see. I'm excited to see reviews of this guy. Yet another Vans Toys release has announced the release of Spindrift, or Sea Spray homage. This figure is slated for a May of 2017 release for a price tag of $59.99. This appears to be pretty consistent with the original G1 figure. In size similarly to the Masterpiece Bumblebee figure. It does appear to be fairly accurate, comes with two different heads and looks pretty interesting. Vans Toys has also announced the release of Coot, their Cup homage. This figure is slated for a July of 2017 release for a price tag of $99.99. This figure does appear to come with a target master or some type of minifigure. Appears to be well scaled with the other Masterpiece figures. The new company Ace has released their Tumbler figure, their Cliff Jumper homage. This figure came out in November for a price tag of $74.99. This figure is sized similarly to the Masterpiece Bumblebee and will actually compete against the X-Transbots version of Cliffjumper. This does appear to be a fairly solid release for what looks like a new company. There are some detailing issues that I'm not a big fan of, especially the clear blue windshield. However, it's pretty good first effort for this company. Transbots has also announced their release of Toro, their Cliffjumper homage, slated for a second quarter of 2017 release for a price tag of $69.99. This figure does appear to be a little bit more stylized than the Ace toys and more accurate to the G1 cartoon. Toy World has announced a release of Space Racer, their Cosmos homage. This figure is slated for a first quarter of 2017 release for a price tag of $54.99. Does appear to be very accurate to the G1 cartoon. And not to be outdone, X-Transbots has also announced the release of Klaatu, their Cosmos homage, slated for a second quarter of 2017 release for a price tag of $72.99. It does appear to come with several stands as well as features, and also appears to scale well with the Masterpiece Bumblebee and X-Transbots Masterpiece Ollie. BB7 Toys has announced their releases of KO, Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet, all for $99.99. They should be released in the next month or so by December of 2016. They appear to be fairly consistent with the Masterpiece releases. However, there are some slight design changes. I will be getting this figure and be reviewing it.